We're here at Citrix Synergy 2017 in Orlando, and we're visiting the FSLogix booth. Can you tell us a little bit about the company and what you're showing here at Citrix Synergy?
Sure, be glad to. I'm Kevin Goodman, CEO and one of the co-founders of FSLogix. And we have a mission out there to make it easier for Citrix administrators to implement things such as Office 365, but also reduce the number of images they need to maintain to get their applications up and running. We have several products out. We're showcasing some of them here. We'll get into that. And some of the stuff you're going to like about those products are the fact that we have been working on some of this for 2 and 3 years. I know we have some competition out there that just came out with some stuff this month, but what we can tell you is it takes a lot to get a Citrix user happy. They want fast logins, they want it to be responsive when they click to open application, and in general they want things to work and work consistently each and every time.
Great. So is it possible for us to see a demo of the product?
Yeah, I'd be glad to show you a demo of the product. Well, what I'm going to show you is our version 3. And version 3 does several things. It combines some of the UIs that we had in previous versions. So you have a single pane of glass that you can go to manage your applications, to manage your profiles, to manage your Office 365, as well as get support. And then we have a new management container, and actually it's a Docker container that we'll show that will help manage all of that in one simple UI.
So what are you going to show us?
Here's FSLogix 3, version 3.0 for our application masking, our Java isolation, profiles, and Office 365 containers. For those of you who are familiar with our previous products, you might have had to do that in several different UIs. And our customers tell us they love the product, but a few of them did say it could be cumbersome. So we've gone through a lot of effort to fix that for you. Up on the screen's the main screen here. This is showing we have the full suite. And what we're going to show you here is that if you come in here and take a look, here is our apps that most of our customers are familiar with. It's still the same apps you know and love, but a much easier interface to go manage it. You can add new rules and rule sets. You can see all the rule sets right there. Along the left side also you see we have devices and our Java isolation. Devices is actually new, and let me tell you about that. This is a per device licensing. And the idea behind per device licensing is when you're on a Citrix server and your applications are licensed per device, guess what? That device doesn't mean the Citrix server. It means the device that you attach with. So your iPad, your laptop, your thin client. And now with FSLogix 3, you'll be able to manage those. So a user who is only allowed to use an application, say Visual Project on premises, can use it from their physical desktop or their thin client at work. But when they go home and use their iPad to connect up, that application won't show up. The same way we're able to manage all the other applications with apps via user-based licensing, we now can do for device-based licensing. Moving on here, I'll come in here and I'll show you the rules. For anyone who's ever used rules knows that they can get cumbersome, but over time this will be the same interface all the way through, so it'll be much easier to manage all of your applications. If you're an FSLogix profile container user, you're going to recognize this immediately, but instead of having to go to a separate UI to go manage that, we'll all handle it here in one location. Same is true with your Office 365. We also want to introduce our folder redirection container that's coming out. The idea behind a folder redirection container is, let's say you have an existing profile management solution that you're satisfied with. You just don't like the idea of folder redirection. As a matter of fact, one of our friends at one of the other booths said that when you configure folder redirection, God kills a puppy. So this is your solution to that. We'll be able to take all of those folders, put them in a container, save you all those nightmares that you have with corruption and slowness, all in a typical FSLogix secure container that's fault tolerant. As our customers are used to doing some troubleshooting for us, if they have to give us a support request, Used to be, we'd tell you, all right, get a dump file and upload it to this FTP site, and we'll take a look at it. Now you can do it all in one location. Also, you can keep track of all of those dump files that you've sent to us in the past. And as a matter of fact, on 2008, we just found out there was a bug in Microsoft. Microsoft said, I've got an idea, go to 2012 where we fixed it. And FSLogix customers said, we can't do that. So what we are doing is workarounds with them, but these things we found because they were able to send us the information this way. So we're going to really not only streamline FSLogix support, but in the stray case where you have an old Microsoft bug, we'll fix that for you too.
Nice.
The last thing I want to tell you about, what you're looking at here is our management interface. And the idea behind this is it's actually going to be delivered on Server 2016 as a Docker container. And as a Docker container, it will sit outside the Citrix server. And why that's important is we don't want to take up any of those precious resources that Citrix is doing, but you still want to be able to manage all of your containers. In this case, I mean your profile containers, your Office 365 containers, your folder redirection containers. This will be able to handle all of that for you for such mundane tasks as, wow, when we originally set up the profile containers, we gave everybody 30 gig, and we realized, wow, that was 20 gig too much. How do we reduce the size of those containers? You'll be able to do that here. Or we only gave everybody 5 gig, and we realized over time now it's more reasonable to give them 10 gig. How do we extend all of those? Any of those types of optimizations along with backup, that'll all be handled right here in this new container. And that's pretty much it, FSLogix 3.
Great. Well, thanks for taking the time to show VMblog, and we hope you have a great show. Where can they go if they want to find out more information on this?
Hop on to fslogix.com and you'll be able to take a look there. And if this blog, and I know the VMblog guys really well, I'm sure they'll put a link in there and you can just click on that and it'll take you right to it.
You sure will.